of the land on which we are gathered, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to the City Infrastructure Committee held on the 13th of May. I declare this meeting open at 10 a.m. I'd like to advise attendees in the room that this meeting is being webcast and audio recorded. We'll move on to attendances and leave of absence. I don't think we have any. Does Mr. Mayor, have you heard from Councillor Fraser? Councillor Fraser must be running a little bit late. We'll now move to confirmation of previous committee meeting minutes. There'll be a motion displayed on the screen to confirm the previous minutes. The minutes of the Infrastructure Committee held on the 8th of April be confirmed. When you're ready, can I have a mover? Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Can I have a seconder? Councillor St. Ledger. Do any councillors wish to speak to the motion? There being none, I now open the floor to vote. It has been passed. It has been carried. Thank you, councillors. I'll now move on to declarations of conflicts of interest. Do any councillors wish to declare a conflict of interest today? There being none, I'll now refer to reports on today's agenda. Our first report is item 6.1, our Capital Roadworks and Drainage Program Quarterly Report for January to March. It's public and it's with you, Mr. Paul Wilson. Take it away.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Mayor and Councillors. So obviously the purpose of this report is to advise of Council's roads and drainage program delivery status for January to March quarter of the 24-25 financial year. I won't go into too much detail other than just catching a couple of key points. Obviously, as discussed at the last Infrastructure Committee, we've actually seen a significant amount of wet weather, which actually hasn't had an impact on the progress of our construction activities across that month, which has actually seen expenditure to the end of the third quarter about 4 weeks behind projected forecasting. A couple of key notes also around projects that have been completed. So obviously Logan Lee Road upgrade has now been fully completed and there's actually a great outcome. There's a couple of black spot projects that are completed, which is Park Ridge Road, Clark Road, and Lindenthal Road, and the Teviot Road, Cusack Lane intersection projects, along with Alamein, Main, and George Street. As a result of that wet weather, we're projected to see probably an end of financial year forecast expenditure down to about $140.7 million. As such, I'll just put the recommendation that this report be noted, if there's any questions.
Does anybody have any questions? Oh, Councillor Lane.
Thanks very much, Paul. On the Beenleigh Road, Millers Road to Cascade Drive, that's a wonderful job, and I'm pretty sure the residents both in Logan and Brisbane really appreciate it. Just one quick question. There's no footpath between Millers and Cristaldi Avenue, but we've managed to create a new bike path entry and footpath for cyclists along the section. I'm just curious as to why we didn't get a footpath as part of it, because it was built into the original scope, I thought.
I'll have to review that and come back to you and let you know what the outcome of that is.
Thanks for that.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. Councillor Stepp.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to find on page 9 of 38 of the report, it just talks about increased land compensation payments. Is that for payments for easements and land for roads, I'm guessing?
But yeah, that's actually as a result of development applications. So any land that's required or easements required through that, which are part of our capital program,
okay,
that's through that space. Yes.
All right. Okay, and so that's obviously just said increased land. So that's just we've had more of an increase of.
We've had an
late?
increase in that application. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Stepp. Councillor Murphy.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Paul, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to the team. The Alamein Street, Main Street, George Street intersections are excellent. You've allowed disability access as well. The main intersections within Beenleigh, and they're fully completed with a value of $4 million going into Division 12. And BMD have started the next section of the work in Eagleby. Hopefully it'll be a smooth transition and we can pray for no more rain right now, okay? Thank you very much. Can you please pass on my thanks to the teams? Thank you.
Will do. Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you. Being no more questions. We'll have a mover. Councillor Murphy. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Lane. All those in favour? Carried. Does any councillors wish to speak? There being none, we'll move on. We were going to do GB at the end. Are you okay to do it now? That way you can take off out of here. You okay with that, Mr. Wilson?
We can do it at the end. I'm okay.
You at the end?
Yep.
All right, cool. Now we'll move on to the next report, which is item 6.2, which is an update on the smart water meeting solution for the City of Logan. It's a public report. And Mr. Gerard Brearley, it's all up to you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, councillors. So I will hand over to Rob Howes, who's joined me. I think Rob's familiar to a few of you. Rob's the acting Water Customer Advocacy and Experience Program Leader, and so he'll walk us through the report.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Chair. Morning, Mr. Mayor, councillors. The report was provided as a update on our smart water meter projects that we ran in 2021, just to give you an outline on the outcome of that one, and also to give you an idea of where we're moving to next with smart meters. They're obviously something that's in the news quite a lot at the moment, especially with the electricity rollout, so we are getting quite a bit of interest. Happy to take any questions on the paper.
Thanks very much. I believe that we did send a question off in
Absolutely.
relation to the difference between our costings and Toowoomba's. Can you give me an answer on that, please? Because I don't think we received one before committee.
Yep, through the chair. Absolutely, and please thank your advisor for sending that question through. The question was around Toowoomba's installation of smart meters at a cost of about $157 per unit, 137. That was for just the meters. The actual Toowoomba project itself per meter was based on the information that we've seen, and we've reached out to Toowoomba to try and get some more information because it does look like a good project to have a look at. It was $406 per meter once you include all the network capabilities and the app and those kind of things that they needed to develop.
So are smart meters meant to be a thing that every household in Logan should have, or is that a wish list for Logan City Council or the residents?
Through the chair, I think it's there has to be a cost benefit without question. I think people understand the benefits that smart meters can have. They have, as our investigation found, proven to be cost prohibitive in the past. Through being able to work with the Water Service Providers Partnership to really look at that at a regional level, I think we'll get a much better understanding of the applicability for the City of Logan.
No worries. How many water leaks do you get on average or requests over meter readings each year? Is it worth our while to be doing this now?
Where we will see, through the chair, where we will see real benefit is at a larger network level. So not necessarily through supporting customers with concealed leaks. Best way to prevent concealed leaks and the cheapest way is to read your meter every day and just keep a check on that. We've got some great information on the website. But as far as cost benefit for leak prevention and supporting customers, the numbers don't quite stack up for us yet.
So how is it to our benefit to put these in at the moment? You said it from a network perspective. What does that mean?
Yeah, sure. So through the chair, just to confirm, we're not installing these yet. What we're doing is we're partnering with the Water Service Provider Partnership, which is our regional collaboration, to investigate these and see if there's an advantage. At a network level, it's looking at our mains network as opposed to customers' individual service network. So with the smart meters, there's a belief that you can better manage water losses at the network level.
Thanks very much. So we're not tying ourselves into any contracts. We're not doing anything like that.
Through the chair, absolutely not.
Thank you.
Sorry, can I just add into that also? Logan Water's network's actually configured quite well for detecting leaks. When we're talking at a network level, detecting leaks, I'm talking about, councillor. That we have a number of district metered areas, and so that's the way that we would be monitoring consumption in the network rather than relying on individual customer smart meters.
You happy, Councillor Lane? There'll be a motion up on the board. If anyone's happy to move that motion, Councillor Lane. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Russell, all those in favour? That has been carried. Does anyone wish to speak to the motion? Thank you, councillors. That is the end of our reports today, and we have no late reports. We're fortunate enough to have the general managers in here from RID, RIP and Logan Water. Does anyone have any general business for either of the general managers? Councillor Bradley, far away.
Thank you. Through the chair, I'm just curious. Yesterday I sent an email about someone actually tapping into council's water supply and running a water hose into the property. Is that a common occurrence? I'm just curious.
Apologies, sorry, I was looking at Rob to see if he'd seen the email. I haven't seen the email, I'm sorry. No, it's not a common occurrence, but it's definitely something that we want to monitor for illegal connections. But no, we don't see that very regularly.
Yeah, the only reason I picked up on it was I could see water just gushing down the street. So I thought, oh, I'm going to check what's going on there.
I will follow up on that to make sure that it's been
I don't think
dealt
it has.
with. Okay.
Thank you, Councillor Bradley. Councillor Lane.
Thanks very much. So Emma Lynn left Logan Water, and she was an amazing young woman, real go-getter, and I wish her well for her future. Are you back in the hot seat, Rob, as taking our complaints? I just thought I'd better check before I start.
That's okay. Through the chair, always happy to take your complaints,
Thank
Councillor
you.
Lane. No, I think many of you have been, all compliments, which you've always been very kind with. Michael Kavanagh, I think many of you will have spoken to by now, is taking over the operational work that Emma did. So anything that you're sending through is being passed to Michael. He'll then do the investigations and get back to you, or through Jared, whichever you'd prefer. Thank you.
No more for managers? Thank you. That concludes the agenda for today. Does anyone have any general business for Mr. Darryl Riley? Councillor Hermeyer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My question today is for the Director of the Roads Department. Now, the current situation in Division 8 is that there are several roads in urgent need of repair, resurfacing and upgrading. I was just talking to residents this morning, in the current state of Logan Reserve Road at the north section near the roundabout is full of potholes. We've lodged them and we're hoping we can get them fixed ASAP from council. Your team over the past few months has managed to deliver some very important projects, like the new intersection on Clark Road and Parkridge Road with brand new traffic lights, safety footpaths all over our area to try to improve the bad situation left there. But we can't stop there. We need to do more. I wanted to ask the director, and I've been in constant communication with you to make sure that your team has been provided notice to be able to provide these answers. But there's several projects that I'm wanting to get an update on, specifically the general road resurfacing around Division 8, the Logan Reserve Road School Road intersection upgrade with brand new traffic lights near the school, and the Chambers Flat Road School Road intersection upgrade with a roundabout. I'm wanting to know for each of these three projects, what's the current state of each of them? What are the engineers going to do in the next 30 days? And when is construction expected to begin for each of these projects?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the question, and thank you for the prior advice that you were seeking information in regards to those. I will invite Paul Wilson back to the meeting. He has done some research around those and will be able to provide us an update on the various projects as per those that you've outlined. Yep. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. Through the chair. I'll just go through them in order for your councillor. So with the resurfacing projects in Parkridge Road, Logan Reserve Road, Green Road, School Road, Bumstead Road, I can confirm they're definitely all on the pavement rehabilitation program. Investigations are underway on all of those roads to identify high impacted roads and the type of treatment that will be required for each of those roads, including the resurfacing. I can confirm as of this morning that RCM have advised that they will be out to Green Road, School Road, Bumstead roads for their maintenance repair work in the June-July time periods. Park Ridge Road and Logan Reserve roads needs further investigation because of the deterioration to the pavement structure. And we'll give you an update on that as we progress through that space. Any other questions on that one?
No, so for the resurfacing, we're expecting to see teams on the ground doing repairs next month for some of those roads. For the other ones, there still needs to be a bit more homework done by the engineers. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go to the next one. So Logan Reserve Road, School Road intersection upgrade, which is a black spot project. That will actually go to tender at the end of May to find a successful contractor. They're anticipating works to start in the second half of this year, more likely probably around about that September, October time period. It takes about 3 months for us to get a contractor procured through the tender phase. So that's pretty much where the status of that is, and the team are working to finalise that tender in the next 2 weeks. Chambers Flat Road, School Road intersection. So the quick update, and this has been updated on the web page. So obviously the interim roundabout is part of the broader Chambers Flat Road project. The good news is previously we were waiting for Indigenous parties to give us agreement. We've now verbally received agreement that we can proceed to construction. We're now working actively and trying to prioritise our service relocations, which will start in about July, go through till Christmas. The main construction will be from January 26, will take about 2 years. The order prioritisation for service relocations are Logan Water will be the first agency that will do relocation because we need them to move their services before anything else can be moved. And yeah, we're just expediting that service relocation works at the moment. I don't know if I covered off all your projects.
That's good. So for the Logan Reserve Road, School Road intersection upgrade, 2 weeks until the tender process is put out, then that can take a couple months. And then once a tender is awarded to a specific company, they can start the process of construction. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And we're expecting that by the end of the calendar year.
That will be underway before the end of the calendar year. Yes.
And then for the School Road, Chambers Flat Road section, a very important intersection, just like the one outside the school, the council engineers are working with Logan Water and the other utility providers to relocate the stuff underneath the ground so then the construction can start on the road above the ground. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you for those updates. And I'll be in constant communication with both Daryl, yourself, and the CEO, which I see the CEO of council is in the room today, to make sure that we get pressure on these projects. We work with the engineers to get good results, and we especially make sure that those dependencies, when it comes to utility providers, are handled in the best way so we can get cracking and see construction start. Thanks for the update.
No, thank you, and we'll keep you proactively involved with the whole process.
If I can maybe just elaborate a little bit further on that as well. Certainly with the Chambers Flat Road project, just to give some context of size of that for the rest of the councillors. So it's a multi-million-dollar project. It's in the order of, I'm trying to remember, Paul?
$79
million. We have made application to the state and been successful in regards to funding for that. So to the federal government. We made application to the federal government back in 2020 and received some initial funding commitment from them, which was enough for us to commence the planning and operation of that project. Having then actually got to a detailed design space, we went back to the federal government and made application for further funding to be able to complete that project. The subsequent funding takes us to a total of
36
36
million. Yep.
$36 million for that project, 2/3 of which was only committed to council in March this year. So we've been, I guess, very effective in securing additional funding for council in regards to that, but we have had to work through that process to be able to secure that funding, and the timing of the project is related to our ability to fund that.
Thanks for that. And so there's that $36 million component, and 2/3 of that money was only committed to council in March this year.
This year.
So March this year. So that's good to know the facts when it comes to this, and especially engineers operate on the facts. So making sure that the public's aware of all of the transparency when it comes to this budget, when it comes to this project, when it comes to communication. We have a web page where that should be constantly updated. And of course, we have the regular Division 8 community meetings where these projects are broken down into their core components, and the community is aware of the transparency around it. But thank you for that information.
Yes.
Sorry, Chair, just a quick question on that. So, of the $79 million, how much is the federal government committing to, or has committed to?
36 million.
Wow. On a local road?
It is an arterial road for council, yes.
It's a local road, thank you.
Thank you. I usually don't throw commentary in if you'll allow me, Councillor Heremiah. It's as a roads guy, it's pretty hard to build a road when you haven't got the money for it, isn't it? So the facts are you didn't get most of the money until March, and they're already steaming ahead doing everything they can in the background. So that concludes the meeting for today. No more general business. Thank you. We will return with Councillor Murphy at 10:31. Bingo.